What's up, everyone? Welcome to the House of Strategies channel. In this video, we are going to talk about emotional triggers and the consumer reaction cycle. If you've not watched the video that I recently posted about consumer decision psychology, I highly recommend you go and watch that. So without further ado, let me jump into the first 8 points. First one is called avoidance of regret. This is when somebody does not want to look back and realize that they missed out on something or chose the wrong solution. This play a little bit on fear. This one is all about making the wrong decision. No one wants to do that. Now, the second emotional trigger is called the desire for status or perception. People want to be perceived as wealthy, elite, high class, upper class. People will spend a lot of money just so they can be perceived as somebody different. You can play into this by saying set yourself apart from the others, or make sure that you are unique among the crowd of other business owners. The next one is called control and chaos. And this is when somebody feels out of control. And this want, of course, a solution to make their life a lot easier. If somebody feels out of control with their books and bookkeeping, then of course you can swoop in and say, hey, let me give you back the power of control. Solving that chaos is so important for a lot of people. Moving on to number 4, there is the urgency and time scarcity. We're just creating urgency. You have to do this now or else you're gonna miss out. Black Friday sales are perfect for this. Christmas sales are perfect for this. Any sort of holiday sale, Labor Day, back to school. These scarcity urgency mindsets gets people through the door and increase those conversions. Moving on to the 5th emotional trigger, it is the desperation for relief. So a little different than chaos. Relief could be from pain, discomfort. It could be from something like chaos. Ultimately, individuals just want pressure to be alleviated from their lives. This could be from personal, business. It could simply just be an employee that is giving them a hard time. It could be as silly as political views, something that removes that stress from an individual's life. It will, of course, make them feel better. Chaos is just out of control. The desperation for relief is, I am super burned out. I'm exhausted. I cannot handle this situation and I need external help. Moving on to the 6th emotional trigger, it is the fear of judgment or embarrassment. So instead of perception, where it's I want to be perceived as something high class or perceived as wealthy, this is more of I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to look inferior to those around me. They may not care about looking better. They just don't want to look worse. So this is definitely one of those things where they both cross into each other a little bit, but there still is a very big difference between the two. Moving on to the 7th one, it's the need for belonging and relevance. People want to feel like they belong to a group. They want to feel like there's some camaraderie, either within the team or with their clients or with their family. They want to feel relevant. When you validate their feelings and you make them feel relevant. If you make them feel good about themselves and you listen and make sure that they feel heard, that process of reciprocity will come back in your favor. People will want to use your product or services simply because you treated them well. And the last emotional trigger is the validation and reassurance. Being reassured that somebody is not inferior. This is telling them they're making the right choices, that they are smart for going down a specific path. If you're trying to close on a sale, you may want to say, hey, contacting me was a great idea because we are able to help you. And so you validate the effort that they went through to, of course, get connected with you. So those are the 8 emotional triggers. Once one of those is triggered, you fall into what's called the reaction cycle. And there are 4 tiers to the reaction cycle. The first one is the immediate internal reaction. They're likely going to say, that's me. I've experienced that. And it's going to immediately be that internal hook to keep watching. Then it's followed up with the moment of self-assessment. So they're going to start with, that's me. And then they're going to assess how it's related to them. I've been struggling with X, Y, and Z. Or that's me. I've been dealing with that as well. And they're going to further validate and reassure themselves internally that what you have to say is important to them as well. Now, the third one is the micro commitment. Now you want to capture that micro commitment, like maybe this could help me, or I'm going to keep listening because this is all very important to me or pertinent to me. That section is so important to capture because if you can recognize that one moment, then you know when to follow up with a solid, strong call to action. At that point, you want to swing that door open wide and end with that fourth reaction cycle of momentum towards action. This is where you really drive them to click, save, continue watching, or engage with whatever type of medium you are pushing. So that concludes the emotional triggers and the reaction cycle. I really want to encourage you to go through your sales scripts, go through your marketing campaigns, paid or organic, and take a look at if you're using one of these emotional triggers. If you are, what does that reaction cycle look like? Are you actually capitalizing on the perfect moment for that call to action? If not, you know where to start. You know what your next task is. Please hit that like button, comment below if you have any questions. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you get notified every time I post a video, and I will see you on the next video.